Hello there, welcome to Isle of Siptah. So, a while ago, me and my tribe, or should I say my tribe and I, decided to do our first Elder Vault, and at the end we obtained a sigil. Now, I did not know what these sigils did, so I decided I'll do some research. I found out they were pretty cool. There are some weird things they could give you, the powers, or as they state, some otherworldly traits. So I decided to showcase my findings. Now I want to point out a quick disclaimer or maybe an incentive. I don't actually 100% know what all of these sigils do. I've just covered the baseline. There could be little secrets to them. I don't know. Especially this sigil of the Goblin. I have absolutely no clue what it does, and that's the only sigil I have no clue what it does. It says, go into info at the bottom here. It says this sigil is a result of research. Using this sigil provides a person with an otherworldly trait for a while, in this case boosting their hardiness. Now I've gone around and tested to see if it increases my damage resistance, my resistance to the temperature, full damage, stamina, getting knocked down. There was a few things I tried and it didn't seem to really do anything, so if you know what the Sigil of the Goblin does, please tell me in the comment section below and I will definitely pin that, because this has had me perplexed for a while. By the way, to get things started, there will be a couple timestamps on screen and in the description for you to click to if you just want to know what one specific sigil does. So let's get started. Starting at number 1, we've got the Sigil of the Goblin. As I said before, it says it boosts your hardiness, but I have no clue what it does, so rip. At number 2, we've got Sigil of the Snakemen, which states, in this case, boosting the thickness of their blood, which means we don't bleed as long. So if somebody hits you with bleed, its duration is shortened. So I'm just going to go demonstrate that. So let's get this guy to hit me. I do not have the Sigil equipped, so just try to get a base test. There we go, we got 1 stack of bleed. Okay, it seems that bleed lasts for 20 seconds. I let it run out and then I watched it back in video with a timer, and yeah, 20 seconds, at least hopefully roughly rounded down or something like that. 20 seconds is normally how long bleed lasts. Now let's put on the sigil and see how long it lasts. Okay, so we got the sigil on. Let's get him to hit me a couple times. We got 4 stacks. Already back to 2 stacks. And now back to 1. So that's I think that's like 2 seconds. I'll go back and quickly watch a video. Okay, well I'm going to round it down to 2 to 3 seconds. I could do a frame, like actually count the frames, but that's kind of hard to do in Share Factory, so I'm just going to round it down. 2-3 seconds is now how long bleed lasts if you have the Sigil of the Snakemen, which is, wow, that's amazing. At sigil number 3, we got Sigil of Jhils Brood, which states, in this case, boosting their ability to survive long falls. Now, what this means is it kind of does the same thing as the attribute in agility, cat-like fall. Falling damage is halved. It halves your falling damage. Now, I did do some testing and like stacked cat-like falling with Jhils Brood, and they do work together. So I'll just quickly do some demonstrations. So the platform we're going to be falling from today is 5 and a bit foundations tall. As in a bit, I mean I lowered it by two like fractions. So if you put like a fence foundation on a lower half of a foundation, that's how much I lowered it. So yeah, I don't know if that explains much, but it's just a little less than 6 foundations. Now the reason I made it that specific height is because it's just the right height for me to lose roughly 100 health when I fall. So we currently have 201 health. Let's quickly fall off. Now we have 100 health, so we just lost 101. There are some rounding, some point something or others in there that I cannot count, but yeah, so we lost 101 health. Now we're back up top, and I've put in 20 points into agility to get cat-like falling. Falling damage is halved, so we should lose around 51 health. The reason I do this is for comparison, so if you want to know if it's one or the other's better, but they should be exactly the same. So, yep, we lost 51 health. Okay, now we're going to take off cat-like falling and put on Sigil of the Jhils Brood, and fall from this height. We consumed 149 health, so that was like 52? 51. No, 52, quick math, Jesus. Okay, so currently the numbers are we lose 100 health if we do not have any of those buffs active. If we have cat-like falling, we lose 51, and if we only have Jhils Brood, we lose 52. And again, like I said, there's roundings in there. But now we're going to add them together. So one of those sigils active is the Snakemen, and the other is Sigil of Jhils Brood. And now we're going to put 20 points into agility. We currently need 201 health. Let's fall. It should reduce our fall damage around 75%. Yeah, 175. We lost 26. So without any of them, we lost 100. With both of them, but not both of them active, we lost around 50 each. And then with both of them active, we lost 25. So that is a nice 75% damage reduction. Now I am going to quickly do a test that I've yet to do and see my maximum, the maximum height you can fall without dying. Okay, so I found the roughly maximum height you can fall without dying, which is where that Aquilonian ceiling piece is. When you fall from that height, you should survive with about 11 health, and that's 10.8, somewhere around there, foundations high. And the fascinating thing is, even if I put Cat-like Falling and Jhils Brood, it doesn't allow me to fall from a higher point. So right now, I have none of the perks on. As you can see under effects, there is no sigils equipped, and then as you can see under attributes, there is no perks into agility to allow me to increase my fall distance, or damage, whatever. If we fall, we should survive. We got 11 health. Now if we go back up and put on the sigil plus Cat-like Falling, I haven't actually fallen from this height yet with these two on, so that reduces the damage by a hefty amount. So you would originally be left with 11, and now from that height you're left with 153. But if we reset our health and go just one foundation higher, it should kill us. So we're currently one foundation higher. As you can see, the sigil is still equipped, as well as the second perk into agility, and falling from one foundation higher than that original point where we survived, we do not survive no more. So yeah, it's kind of sad we can't drop from any taller heights than we originally could, but at least now if we drop from that height, we at least kind of still have full health, which is kind of awesome. At sigil number 4, we got Sigil of the Wolf Brothers, in this case boosting their ability to coax more out of their mounts. Now by just reading it, it kind of tells you that you can sprint for a longer duration with the mount, but it actually gives your mounts an entire 100 more endurance. So normally horses, and I'm pretty sure both rhinos, have 600 endurance. But again, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to run down this catwalk, mark where if I run out of stamina, and then come back and do a percentage comparison. Okay, well I'm going to count this stopping point as the distance, even though I technically ran out of stamina like five tiles back. Just realized I also do not have a long enough bridge. Okay, so I counted 177 tiles in distance for running out of stamina, then stopping. And the bridge I extended to around 216 maximum distance, which should be enough. I'm thinking if my calculations are right, we should be able to run around 100 in, we should be able to hit 200. I'd say 200 in distance if we add on, where is it, Sigil of the Wolf Brothers, so let's give it a run. I also want to remind that endurance on mounts don't only mean sprinting distance, it means how much they can take. Like, every time a mount gets hit, they take endurance damage, so we're now passing the first one, and run out of stamina, come to a stop. Damn, that looks around like 15 tiles in front of me, so 200 seems to be accurate, but I'll do a quick check. But yeah, before I actually go and check it, every time your horse gets hit while you're on it, you take a level of endurance damage. When you run out of endurance, you can fall off your horse, so even having that extra 100 for fighting on horseback will be useful. That white tile is where we originally stopped on our first run without the sigil, and then that white tile over there is where we ran out of stamina and stopped with the sigil, which is an entire 25 tiles worth of distance more, which comes to 202 tiles you can sprint before running out of endurance, which is nice. It's not a huge amount, but again, like I said before, when you're fighting and sprinting, that extra 100 could potentially save your life, or just make things less annoying. At Sigil number 5, we have Sigil of the Drowned, which states in this case boosting their ability to carry while injured. Now this one is quite simple. It increases your encumbrance the lower health you have. So if you look up top left, I have currently 94% encumbrance because I'm holding a bunch of stone. If I go into the admin panel and make my health minimum, where is it? Health minimum. Currently I have only 1 health, and I go and equip the Sigil of the Drowned. It's dropped my encumbrance to 47%. Now if we quickly use one of these, my character's bandaging themselves and my encumbrance should go up with my health. As you can see, 55, 56, 57. So if you wanted to play this way, you could go around rocking a good old 150 health, always be slightly damaged, missing like a quarter or so, and that would increase your encumbrance. Or you could go even riskier and make it down to like even a quarter of your health, only a quarter, and be able to carry a butt ton, combining this with encumbrance itself. That says, actually, I tend to, when I go gathering, I just do this. Bada bing, bada boom. I can now sprint while over encumbered. At Sigil number 6, we actually have one of my favorites, which is Sigil of the Bat. In this case, boosting their ability to jump when sprinting. Now, this one can, when you first equip it, can be confusing, so I won't do anything right now. We'll go and do a bit of sprinting. Right now, if I sprint and then I jump, it's pretty average, right? It's just a normal jump. And then we equip this, and we sprint, and we jump, it does the same thing. Well, that's because you have to sprint for a total of 3 seconds. So if we run this entire little lane, sprint for about 3 seconds, and then jump, we jump a significantly higher. And why did I not prepare a testing area for this? What is wrong with me? Okay, we got a little testing area, we got a runway, and then a foundation, just to see if we can jump that height. I'm pretty sure you cannot jump. Nope, we just don't make it. So now I'm just going to quickly lower that foundation just a fraction to see if we can jump this height. Let's do a run up. We should be able to jump this height if I'm correct. Yep, you can perfectly jump just lower than a foundation. Well, simultaneously this increases your height, it increases the distance in which you can jump. Normally you can just almost jump 3 tiles, but generally never can. But with Sigil of the Bat you can easily clear this. But you cannot clear 4 foundations. Now, even though you cannot jump the height of a foundation, you can easily land on top of players or thralls' heads. Now, some people might be thinking, how is that useful? But I guess if you really want to have a weird Goomba stomping playstyle, you could kit yourself out with tons of stone, make yourself extremely overweight, put 50 points into encumbrance, and then just sprint at somebody and jump on their head and kill them by being overweight. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you get very overweight and you land on somebody's head, it will kill them. Now, you have to be very overweight. I've actually accidentally, while testing with my friend, this was ages ago, like a year ago, I stood on his head and he was in God mode and I had tons of stuff on me and it killed him. Though I don't know if it can still kill people in God mode, but something to keep in mind. If you want to go around as a playstyle of Goomba stomping people, and you have a boatload of stuff, I guess you could do that. At Sigil number 7, we are now halfway with Sigil of the Demon. In this case, allowing them to run further without rest. Let's actually take off these braces, because that would be cheating. And do a quick run. Okay, with that little sprint there, we ran a total of 42 tiles. I'm just trying to remember how to do percentages because for some reason I forgot. But anywho, now let's equip Sigil of the Demon. We still have 100 stamina and do the same sprint. And that is significantly further. I think this comes up to 70 something tiles if I remember testing, but again, let's do some counting. To summarize it, without Sigil of the Demon, you can run from where the start is, where those white tiles are, to this first tile, where is it? There, which is a total of 42 tiles. And then with Sigil of the Demon, you can run from that starting point all the way to this tile over there, which comes to 70 tiles. So that's about I think that's a 66 percent distance increase, but I'm going to round it to a 70% distance increase and a 40% reduction in stamina usage from sprinting. Okay, at number... I forgot what number this is. At number 8, we got Sigil of the Fiend, in this case preventing them from losing other sigils they have in effect, which is an extremely powerful one. Okay, there we go, we have every sigil equipped except for Sigil of the Fiend. Now if we die, we should lose at least half of them. I don't actually know the exact percentage, but I'm pretty sure you like lose half and then the rest are in your inventory. I don't know, it's weird. Any sigils still equipped? We currently have 4 of them. We have Jhils Brood and one of the wolf ones, and I don't remember the sigils off by heart. If we go up here and check our dead corpse, I'm pretty sure there should be some sigils on that. So we have Sigil of the Harpy, Sigil of the Outside, Sigil of the Twist Giant. So how many did we keep? We have 4 there, we have 4 there. So we kept 8 out of the 14, which that's not bad. Now if we die again, so I killed myself again, and quick summary, we started with all 13 equipped. We've had 5 returned to our inventory, and currently I'm pretty sure we only have 1 left active. Yep, and so that means if I kill myself one more time, yep, it is now gone. But now we're going to equip all of the sigils, including Sigil of the Fiend, and then die and see what it does. Now I've re-equipped all of the sigils, including Sigil of the Fiend, which now should mean when I die, I only lose Sigil of the Fiend. Okay, we've respawned. Check our stats. And yep, we've only lost Sigil of the Fiend. So it's pretty much just an extra life for your sigils, which again is actually really useful. At sigil number 9, we have Sigil of the Harpy, which states in this case giving them the ability to cling tenaciously to walls when they should have fallen. Now, I don't know if there's any extra benefits to this, but currently all I know that it does is it makes it so when you run out of stamina, actually I should take off the Jhils braces again, is when you run out of stamina you should start using your health to climb. So if we sprint around for a bit just so we can run out of stamina earlier. Okay, we're about halfway now. Let's climb up. And when we run out of stamina, it should start taking our health away. Yep, as you can see, we're still climbing and it's taking away our health, which means you can technically infinitely climb if you get some sort of healing that's like a food or other things. Just make sure not to kill yourself. But anyway, at sigil number 10, we got Sigil of the Gremlin, which states in this case boosting their capacity to recover resources. Now, to my knowledge, this increases it kind of does the same thing as adding an upgrade kit to your tool, I guess you could say. It increases your harvest rate. So let's make sure my settings are all official. So if we go and hit this rock, give us 17, 17, 17. There should be an 18 maybe somewhere. 16. Okay, 17 or 16. That's the average. 17 to 16. 16, 17. Now if we then consume the Sigil of the Gremlin and start hitting this, it should give us 18, 19s. Yep. Oh, there's still a 16 and a 17. 16, 18. So it's just a kind of like a every so often. It's kind of like adding in a critical hit, I guess. A critical hit chance to upgrade its efficiency. Even though it's kind of like a 50-50 whether you get the increase, it's still more resources, so it's quite useful. So that's Sigil of the Gremlin. At number 11, we got Sigil of the Twice Drowned, which states in this case allowing them to make occasional attacks without stamina cost. Now, this is extremely useful. So if we normally attack, of course, we just run out of stamina, right? Actually, I don't really need to demonstrate that. You know, every attack we use stamina. Now, if we equip this and then start attacking, if you look up, actually, why can't I attack right now? What is wrong with my character? Why can't I heavy attack? This is confusing me. Now, I don't know what percent chance it is that you don't use stamina, because measuring RNG is not easy, I guess you could say, because it could be a 50% chance, and then after 1,000 hits, I still don't get it to consume stamina, or every hit consumes stamina. So I'm just going to do 20 hits, and then count how many of them don't use stamina to how many of them do use stamina. So, yeah. Okay, so I just did 20 hits and only 2 of the attacks did not use stamina. And that means that's a 10% chance if we use that average. Okay, so I'm going to do another actual couple runs of this and maybe create an average, but again, that average is not accurate. Okay, so it did another 20 attacks and only 2 of them did not use stamina, so it's kind of keeping up with that 10% average. Once again, it did another 20 attacks and only 2 of them did not use stamina, so I'm just going to say it's 10%, but again, do not take that as truth because it's hard to measure proper percentages in that. But I'm just going to quickly test if it also works with bow and arrow. Yes, it does. I just had an attack that did not use stamina. So this also works with bow and arrow. At Sigil number 12, we have Sigil of the Wolfmen. Now, this one is just pretty much lifesteal. It states, in this case, providing them health for every enemy killed. So if you kill an enemy, you get health back. Pure and simple. Okay, so I have 103 health, so if I kill this guy... I went from 100... Oh, I didn't consume the... Oops. Okay, now that I have the Sigil equipped, I have 103 health. Let's see how much I get when I kill this guy. Go from 103 to 23, so yep, that's 20. Kill another guy just to make sure. This should push it to 43. 43, yep. And then just to show it off, bows do still work. I can't use my heavy attack. Did my controller break during this? So I went from 43 to now 63. And just to make sure, just to test if bleeding also works. There we go. Oh yeah, so bleeding does work. I killed this boss with a bleed. It brought me from 1 health to 21 health. I also wanted to test if bosses give you more health. It seems they do not. So anything you kill with debuffs, or whether that's bleed, ranged, or just slashing, will give you 20 health per kill. At Sigil number 13, we got Sigil of the Serpent, which states, in this case, boosting the ability to remove poison from their blood. Which again is kind of as self-explanatory as one of the first ones, the thickening the blood. So if we use this, it should kind of make it so poison does not last long. Okay, I'm going to consume the Scorpion Queen Venom Gland and time it just to see how long it normally lasts. That is roughly 5 seconds. So now if we consume the Sigil of the Serpent and then do the same thing... Oh, I did not mean to start timing. That is about half. That was about 2.5 seconds. So it reduces the time you're poisoned by about half, which is neat. And it states, in this case, scouring corruption from their skull. Soul. Yeah, so I'm minorly corrupted. It won't even show my effects tab because I won't even get lightly corrupted. But I remember I used to have 201 health, and now I currently have 196. If we equip this, every so often, we should get a buff and effect that says losing corruption. It's like every 20 seconds. There we go. I don't know if I'm going to add that into the video, but yeah, that happens every 20 seconds. It roughly reduces 1. It's weird when corruption. It doesn't actually, for me, it's not updating until I go back. Yep, now my health's 196 to 197, so it has reduced my corruption by 1. So that's going to wrap up the video. I'm very sad that I don't know what Sigil of the Goblin does. I was waiting until I could figure that out to record this video. But I just couldn't. I tried so much and I don't know what it does. So I guess I'm going to have to leave that for the community to help figure out. So yeah, anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. Hopefully I didn't drag out the explanations too long. And yeah, hopefully you come out of this knowing what the sigils do and which ones you want to get. So yeah, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, consider subscribing. And I will catch you all later. Peace. I'm a lone wolf.
I'm a lone wolf.